Dr. Sid Gilstrap presents Down2Earth Talk, conversations that inspires, educate, and are thought-provoking. Don't miss Down2Earth Talk, streaming live every Friday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's Down2Earth Talk with Dr. Sid Gilstrap. For more information how you can be a guest on Down to Earth, simply visit www.cintgilstrapministries.com. Need life coaching? Rescue, Refine, Restore Coaching and Counseling with Dr. Cint Gilstrap is a life transformational coach and has experiential training to transform and help you discover your best life yet. For all of your coaching and counseling needs, simply visit www.cgmenterprises.org. Join Apostle Cint Gilstrap as she partners with Brighter Day Missions Liberia in expressing the love of God through educational empowerment, fighting for the rights of the children of Liberia, and hunger alleviation. Your love gift of any amount helps staff educators, provide food for the children, educational equipment, and so much more. To partner with Apostle Cint Gilstrap with Missions to Liberia, or for more information, simply visit www.cgmenterprises.org. The seed that leaves your hand never leaves your life, but goes into your future where it multiplies.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the call on tonight. I am none other than Apostle Dr. Cint Gilstrap, and I welcome you to the call. I am definitely excited. It is Friday in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am excited about this thought-provoking conversation. Listen, this is Down to Earth, and we come on and air every second and fourth Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Eastern Coast. On Eastern Standard Time, the East Coast is what I'm trying to say. So you all that are tuning in tonight, do me a favor and go ahead and tag, go ahead and share, go ahead and invite, because we're doing boss lady conversations on tonight. And I'm definitely excited about having my guests on. And I want to share with you, those of you that desire to advertise, to market, to brand, we are your marketing platform. Listen, VOC marketing and branding and publishing, that's what we do here. Voices of Champions, we do it all. So those of you that desire advertisement, we do flyers and all different types of things. So we're open at your exposure. So give us a call, reach out to us, send us an email, DM us. We will definitely be at your service on whatever your needs might be. Also, we have VOC magazines, that's for Voices of Champions. And those of you that desire to advertise in the magazine, please reach out to me. I'm telling you, we have had some various issues and topics and conversations and different things that's been inserted into our digital content. It's all a digital experience. You don't have to go go outside your home. All you have to do is download it on Kindle, and you will have it right in the palm of your hands, your cell phones, your tablets, whatever. And phenomenal articles we have had. Those of you that desire to be on a billboard up in lights, wherever you are in the United States, we have the opportunity for you. It's a digital shared experience. We have the opportunity to be up three days, 3 consecutive days, 7 days, or 14 days. Whatever your desire is, we are here to supply your need. We are excited as we are preparing to do a compilation book. Listen, I want those of you that are interested in participating with us to come along and join us on this fantastic voyage. Listen, I'm excited on tonight, and I'm telling you, before I bring my guest on, I want to share a little bit with you about her. Listen, I told her before she came out, send me a little, I know you, but I want the audience to hear you the way they hear you. I know she is a psalmist to her heart and a preaching machine. Those two I do know. And so tonight, I'm going to give you just a snippet of what she gave me on tonight about her. Marcia Singletary is the visionary founder and the owner operationer of Creative Creations Cosmetic, a brand dedicated to enhancing natural beauty through high quality, innovative cosmetic products. With a passion for creativity and self-expression, Marcia launched her business to empower individuals to feel confident and radiant in their own skin. Listen, I'm excited tonight because not only is she an entrepreneur, but she's also a mother. She's also a soon-to-be wife. That's right. She also is a pastor. She's a prophet, a psalmist, and a midwife. And I'm excited that she is here with us on tonight. And you all get ready for this topic and discussion because we get ready to have boss lady talk on this platform. So do me a favor as I present to some and introduce to others, none other than my guest on tonight, Marcia Singletary, the entrepreneur, the boss lady, the pastor, the soon-to-be wife, the mother, the friend. And guess what? She is a black girl with magic. Welcome to the stage.
Hey,
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. God placed in my spirit, and I want to share a little bit with you about what I'm doing this year. God placed in my spirit to go a different dynamics. We talk about church, but we need to implement the marketplace because we understand clearly where we are as it relates with God. But how do we get to the place where you are and you also postured with God? And that's important to know. So we're going to take the steps to help people get to the place where they need to be, that have the passion to be an entrepreneur. They might be afraid. They might be intimidated. They may be looking at other people, but looking at where you're sitting, you came out the box. You said, you know what? I'm not worried about anyone else. I'm going to do what God has chosen and told me to do. And in doing that, which brings me to my first question, what literally gave you the push that you needed to make a decision to become an entrepreneur?
I would say for me, I had a very strong support system around me that didn't let me allow what God has given me to be dimmed, because there is a lot of people doing makeup now. So there's a lot of makeup artists, and a lot of people don't feel a need of a makeup artist. And so I had some friends and supportive family members that was just like, but they're not you. So you just got to remember, like, I understand that everybody might be doing what it is that you have a passion to do or desire to do, but everybody's not you.
And I like that because separating you, I guess now we can go to the scripture, is that we're peculiar people, but what separates you from someone else is the fact that they're not you. So learning how to identify your own strengths within yourself that will literally catapult you or push you to that another place or that another success point. What was the starting factor for you? Where did you start? Did you start with an idea? Did you start with the push that you said? What literally started you on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur?
So it started with, okay, honestly, I was dealing with homelessness in 2019, and I'll never forget having a conversation with God because I couldn't understand, because although I was going through homelessness, I never stopped going to church. I never stopped seeking him. I never stopped praying. And I couldn't understand how in the world, like, everybody, because I did get to the point where it was like everybody's saying how great God is. Like, show me something, God, show me something. So we was rolling into the pandemic, and it started with my daycare. And I launched my daycare in the middle of the pandemic and was one of the most successful family home daycares during the pandemic. Like, didn't close, didn't have a COVID case in my center, didn't have problems. Like, I was literally packed. And so I remember the Lord telling me, I gave you what you need in your hands. And
Wow.
it's a matter of putting the ideas that I had, the dreams that I had, putting them into action, because it's okay to sit and you talk about it with your friends, like, oh, I want to open a daycare, oh, I want to do makeup. But then if you never put any work behind it, it's about like the saying, faith without works is dead. So without putting nothing behind it, without doing the research on the businesses that you want to start, without going out looking at businesses, looking at buildings, I even started connecting with people who was already doing what it is I wanted to do. Some of them wasn't as helpful. And that's exactly why I make it a point to be very helpful to those who come to me and asking, where do I start? How do I do this? Because people were not nice to me, but I still manage with the grace of God.
One thing you said, and I want to go back to to piggyback on what you said. You said I was in a homeless situation. That just stopped everything. So that means that you could have given up, but you didn't. That means that you could have thrown in the towel, but you didn't. But because you was in such a crisis, it provoked you to stand up and do something that you've never done before. You could have committed suicide, but you didn't. Oh my God. You could have stopped going to church, but you did not. What you said was, while I was homeless, I birthed something greater than me. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had to do something to better my current situation. Let me tell you how powerful that is. You need to write a book just on that right there. Transitioning from where you were to where you are, that's transformation. That's a success story. And that's what people need to hear. When you are talking about your business, you need to make sure you always implement the fact that I was homeless. And watch this. This is what you said. You said I was homeless in church. I didn't come to preach tonight, but you just stirred me up. So tell people, because listen, I got to stay calm. This is a conversation. Tell us what type of momentum that it took for you to get up in a homeless situation and push yourself to become the woman that you are today in the marketplace.
So for me, I remember sitting during the time of prayer. I was sitting and I kept hearing, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. So like, I literally had to keep telling myself, like, growing up, my childhood was not easy. So I've been through hard stuff. I've never faced homelessness as a child, but I've been to a place where I didn't even want to be in the home I was in. So being homeless and couch surfing, and then of course, when you don't have anything to give to people, that's when you see how people really feel about you. And so in that moment, while God was transitioning me through my through my transition, helping me find, because in that I found out who I really was. I found out how I really reached God, how I found out the relationship. I found out how much God really loved me, because even while in my homelessness, I didn't miss a meal. And I was still satisfied with that, because there's some people that, even though I was couch surfing and homeless and sleeping in my car, there was still some people that was doing worse than me. And I just kept it in my mind that it could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse. And so I just literally stay connected with God and all that it was. And it might sound easy to just walk away, because I mean, I got to a point where I felt like God wasn't hearing me. He wasn't listening. He wasn't moving. He forgot about me. I felt all that in it. But then I remember failure is not an option. And I can't be what everybody said I was going to be.
Yes.
I can't end up a nobody, even though that's what they told me I'd be.
You elaborate on what you mean by couch cycling. Go into
Couch
detail
surfing.
about
So
that.
I was living from this friend house to this friend house. If this friend got upset, they would tell me I had to leave, and like just couch surfing, like until I had nowhere else to go.
And what about your children?
My children stayed back with my grandma in South Carolina until I figured out my life. And
Wow.
And that in itself was very I'm gonna try not to cry, okay? So that in itself was
Girl, cry. We don't judge here.
Hard pill for me, because in the transitioning of leaving my kids, I had to deal with people telling my kids that I didn't love them because I wasn't there, because I felt like them staying there was a better option. I had to deal with people calling me, telling me, oh, come get your kids because they're a burden on grandma. And what they didn't know is like everything that I was making financially in that moment was going to grandma to take care of my kids. So it wasn't like I left them there and then I still provide, because I still provided, but I had no home to put them in. And so because I was trying to figure it out and find my way, and if anybody know anything about the city of Loris, Loris is a very small town where people think making $7.25 an hour was money, and rent $1,700. Like I couldn't do it. So I knew the Lord wanted to plant me in Fayetteville. And because I was going against the odds, the people that were helping me no longer wanted to help me because I didn't do what they wanted me to do. So it was just me and God. And so I literally prayed one night and I said, okay, God, you have got to open the door. You have got to open the door. And I was walking down the street and I met the landlord of the house that I started staying in. And that man was so kind to me. And I know it had to be God. That man didn't run my credit. He didn't ask for my job history. Because when I got that house, I did not have a job. I was literally waiting on my income taxes check to come. So I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. And that man still gave me that house.
Whew. This is definitely a tearjerker for me. And I say that because I've sat in the seat where you're sitting at. And for you as a mother, and I can say that because I know you won, but as a mother to make a decision to allow someone else to oversee your children while you get things stabilized and then they come back to you, that's a hard decision. But let me encourage you to let you know that was the best decision that you could have made at the time that you made it. Because had you not made that decision, believe it or not, there are people that are mean enough to call defect system on you and say that you have abandoned your kids. Now your kids are awarded to the state. I commend you, woman of God. That takes such courage and such strength to say, grandmother, can you watch my kids or keep my kids as I go away from my children that I brought forth in the world to help better my situation so I can help all of us. Had you not, watch this, went down to the valley to birth something, it took you to go to a low place in order for God to bring you to a high place. You had to go to a birthing room, which was in the valley, in order for God to now cause you to push what you're now carrying to be your new business. And not only did you say he birthed one thing, but he gave you twins, because I heard you say about a daycare, and yet we're on here because of cosmetics. So you mean to tell me that you literally implemented the policy, the procedure, and the law of faith in the midst of a crisis? You didn't do that. I know you didn't do that. You mean to tell me that you trusted Hebrews 11:1 in the midst of a crisis? So you were in a critical condition situation. You were in the midst of dysfunction, and yet God showed up to perform a miracle. Because what I just heard you say was, this man was a blessing to me. He didn't ask for a credit check.
Nothing.
He didn't ask for anything. So let me reiterate, because the listeners need to hear. You are a blind female walking through life. You had to drop your children off along the way. You had to go into the valley. You had to go from pillar to post, from pillar to post, making $7.25 an hour. Oh, I don't think they're ready for your story, baby. $7.25 an hour, and the rent is $1,700. You could have quit. You could have gave up on God. You could have hated God. You could have abandoned your children. You could have did everything against, but you are indeed a survivor. You didn't do that. I know you didn't do that. Are you saying that the word of God really worked? Is that what you're saying?
It works. It works.
So are you saying that you are the living proof that God will bring you out of homelessness? Did I hear you say that right?
You heard me say it.
Oh, okay. Did I hear you say that you had hope in your heart and you was walking by faith because you know the money was not enough to do what you needed to do, because you were sending it back home to your grandmother to take care of your kids? I know I didn't hear you say the word is fact. It works.
It works. It works. 100% works.
Oh, okay.
And this is why when people try to talk to me about different religions, and my family are into this spiritual phase, and they try to talk to me, I remind them, listen, there's nothing that you can say that will change my mind about my God. There's nothing. Like, I'm not going to love them any less. If that's your relationship, that's your relationship. I ask them kindly, don't try to force, because I know what God did for me. When I was sleeping in my van at the rest stops by myself in the dark, I know what God did for me. You can't get me to change my mind about God at all.
Okay. Let me reel this conversation back in. So God allowed you to go to a low place to birth your businesses when you could have thrown in the towel. That's what God did for you. And then he allowed you to acquire somewhere to live. And then you were able to go get your children back. Now, this wasn't long ago, because I know you're a seasoned woman of God. So in 2019, that means you went through something. I know you're seasoned because you're a pastor. So you're seasoned. I'm just letting the people know that everybody go through something sometimes. But when God brought you, woman of God, you make me want to preach. When God brought you out of this, watch this. He didn't just bring you out, but he brought you out with everything that you need. That makes me think about the children of Israel when they came out. God didn't just bring them out of Egypt, but he brought them out. You better catch this in his spirit. He brought them out wealthy. He brought them out not suffering. He brought them out in lack. He brought them out with everything that they need in order for them to survive, plus more.
Plus more.
God is we are the benefactor of the plans of God. And when God brought you out, woman of God, his intentions is to sit you on in high places. and you haven't seen anything yet, ma'am. You went down only to come up. And I can only imagine on your uprise, you had to stay humble all along the way, because there were some people that was calling you crazy. You don't even have to tell me. I'm flowing in the spirit now. You done lost your mind. You need to go home. You need to go stay with this person. You need to stay with him. You need to do this, do that, do that. Oh, y'all ain't talking to me. But I hear the Spirit of the Lord say God had to remove you in order for him to reposition you to receive what you have right now. Because had you stayed, thank you, Holy Ghost, had you stayed in Lodabar, you would not have. You will not be connected to your ministry. You will not be connected to apostles. You will not be connected to the church. Your church would have not been resurrected. And the man of God would not be in your life, right? Baby, you don't know what 112 days. Oh, I'm keeping up with it. Oh, I'm watching the process. You mean to tell me that as you put people makeup on their face, you can testify? Talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. So for me, doing makeup, even with the daycare, it is not just a business. It is ministry for me. I get some broken people around me, and I have to minister to them. It's been women that I had to literally stop doing their makeup because they just crying and makeup running as I'm telling them, like, listen, there's more for you. Like, some people don't realize how just a little encouragement goes a long way. You don't know who's on the edge when they sitting in your chair. You don't know if these people getting their face done just to end it all tonight. So you don't know what these people are going through mentally. You don't know what they're going through at home. You don't know what they faced before they got to you. So I make it my business to, one, be nice and show the love of God. Just because you're saved, just because you're a Christian and you don't believe in some of the things that they do, or you don't like approve some of the things that they do, that does not mean you have to be mean to them. You have to still show them the love of God, and you have to be able to love them, because some people don't have people to love them. Some people, everybody don't go to church. Everybody don't know God. They didn't grow up with God. And so you have to give that to them. And everybody's not the same. Christianity, your relationship with God is not a one size fit all, because what worked for grandma and them might not work for what's happening now. Yes, prayer still works. Now, don't get me wrong with that. Prayer is always going to be the answer. However, you have to learn to accept these people as they come and let God do the rest.
Wow. Woman of God, listen, as you begin to talk, the first thing I thought about is the fact that the church judged too much. Jesus didn't come to save the saved. He came to save the sinner. And so for you to say it's ministry, that is your platform or your altar or your pulpit, because you do have to reconstruct, and you have to encourage, and you have to help heal and deliver, make whole, restore, rescue, and refine those that have dying souls. Yes, you do. And you are correct to say everybody's not coming to church. And I got to sit up on this one. And one thing we all need to know is the reason why a lot of people won't come to church is because they've seen the church, or they grew up in church, and because they've seen the horrors of church, they run away, or they stay away from those doors that open on their behalf. But for you, and I'm going to say it again, to have survived 2019, it's 2025. And look at you now. You're no longer making $7.25 an hour.
Not at all. Nowhere near it.
Ma'am.
I literally have employees now, so we're in a...
What? Did you say you literally have employees?
Yes.
How many employees do you have?
So right now I'm back down to one, because we went back to our home daycare because we're working on the second location getting licensed, and then we're gonna have 4 more teachers. So we're getting ready to hire. It'll be 5.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me reiterate again, because now you done messed me up again. So you telling me that you was homeless in 2019, living
Mm-hmm.
for pillar to post, had
Mm-hmm.
to give your grandmother temporary custody. You had to work
Mm-hmm.
for a $7.25 an hour job in a 21st century, and the rent is $1,700. You had nowhere to live.
Nowhere.
You So if you was living from pillar to post, that means that you wasn't sure where your next meal, your next bath, your next pillow, or your next sofa was going to come from. But yet you kept going to church, trusting and believing God
Yes.
that he was going to bring you out of what you were in. All odds against you. Watch this. With all odds against you, you said, God, I trust you no matter what the circumstances is.
Yeah.
He removed you, Abraham, from your family and your kindred and took you to a place that you know not of. You pitched a tent and you expanded yourself. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to know and to understand, if no one else tells you, I am so proud that you did not quit. How old are you?
36.
That you didn't quit at 36. You did not give up. You did not throw in the towel, because God gave you the unction to keep pushing. He gave you the right of your mindset to keep mobilizing yourself. And now today you sit as a distribution center. You said, listen, Apostle, you know what? And I went from 725 to now I have employees. You have what?
Yeah.
Ma'am, that's a whole story and journey by itself. Whatever you do, don't ever turn around, go back. You have so much to give to these women. And even in you teaching, and I don't know how detailed your businesses are. So tell us about how detailed your cosmetic business. Are you at the point where you're teaching? Are you still creating? Where are you in your cosmetic business? And tell us about it. What is it? Creative Cosmetics?
It's creation cosmetics. So I actually do one-on-one sessions. I do offer one-on-one sessions, and I was actually just talking to one of my sisters who is a licensed braider, because we were going to come together and start providing one-on-one sessions for the younger girls, so the younger teenagers, to give them a trade, give them something to start doing, something to look forward to, and they don't have to go out here and just do anything, because we want to create a safe space for them. So I actually teach as well. I do a couple of Zooms here and there. If somebody reach out to me asking me questions about the best foundation and stuff like that, I offer that as well.
So what about skincare? How does skincare and cosmetics, how do they intertwine, or do they intertwine at all?
So skincare is very, very important. So, and a lot of people don't know this, because I was one of the people who did not know this, but you have to also keep up with your skin, because some of us have sensitive skin, some have dry skin, some have oily skin, and you have to, for one, you have to know your skin. But doing the cleaning, taking off the makeup properly, taking off lashes properly, all of that stuff is important, especially if you're one that's going to wear makeup almost every day. And then for the girlies who wear it once in a while, it's even more important that you are moisturizing, that you are using the serum, that you are doing the face scrubs, and you're taking care of your skin. Because when you don't want to wear the makeup every single day, you want to make sure that when you wake up in the morning, you wash your face and you put on your serum and moisturizer, that your skin is looking good and glowy. And you don't have to put on makeup.
Now, are the products you're talking about, is this something that you actually sell, you make, or this is something that you're just recommending?
So right now it's something I'm recommending. I am currently working on launching my makeup line. So we're still working on that. I put it on pause so we could so we could plan a wedding. However, back in February, my good sister Samaya sat me down and gave me the whole speech because I was talking to her about doing the makeup line, and I guess I was dragging my feet. So she got on me about us go ahead and creating the brand and stuff. So I actually created the brand and did some testers on some makeup and stuff and some mixtures that I would like to try, and we're moving forward with that.
Good. Congratulations. Stay on top of those things and don't let anything discourage you, even in the midst of you doing preparing your wedding, because we want to make sure before this year is out, all your ideas, you and somebody's ideas, have already been pushed and they're in place for purchase, because we want to make everything readily available for kingdom. So why am I saying that? Because everything goes back to now the Black business owner, and we have to go back to supporting one another. So at this time that you don't have your own products, what different recommendations do you have for the audience as it relates to skincare?
So for skincare, I would suggest definitely going to Sephora because they're able to scan your skin and tell you exactly what products work for your skin.
Good.
I do not regret going to Sephora and finding out what I needed, because I went to one place and they told me that my skin was oily, and then I went to Sephora and found out that my face was breaking out because it was dry. So I had to get a certain serum or a certain moisturizer that I put on in the morning and at nighttime. So Sephora would definitely get you right. And it's
You
not
know, go ahead.
too expensive. So it's definitely budget friendly.
You know, one thing I can say is that skincare is definitely needed, and we don't realize just how important skincare is. If we take care of our skin, which is our flesh, then our flesh will live longer. And that's what we have to realize. Taking care of our outer man and our outer appearance will help the existence of who we are spiritually to prolong the process. I promise you. How do you know, Apostle? Because if you stop washing yourself, stop cleansing yourself, your flesh will immediately start decaying and dying. And so to beautify yourself or take on that time or that opportunity that we have to just take a break and take care of all of the necessary things, not just skincare, but what about the diet? How does your diet also affect your skin? Does that play in part?
So I would say make sure you drink plenty of water. So a lot of people don't believe that water affects the skin, but it does. So most people who don't drink water, their skin dries out because there's no hydration. There's nothing, especially when you're not drinking water, you're not putting on serum and moisturizer. Your skin doesn't have it has no moisture, it has no hydration. And so drinking plenty of water absolutely works.
You know, I guess I'm finna bring in a sidebar because you said so many things earlier. You said in the midst of planning a wedding, oh, I caught that. In the midst of planning a wedding, in the midst of planning a wedding, from 2019 to now, you were homeless, but 2025, you planning a wedding. You have two businesses. One is a daycare and one is a cosmetic line. And now you're working on skincare. How, and then you're a mother because you have your children back and you're a pastor. Tell us how you balance all of these things. And I know who your apostles are, and I know how they push. I know how they push because I push. And so, how do you balance everything in your life?
So for me, time management. So I used to be a procrastinator, not even gonna lie to you. So I used to be really, really bad at procrastinating, but time management is everything. And a lot of people laugh at me because I literally set reminders. Because on top of all of that, I also go to school. So I'm finishing up my associate's degree in early childhood. So on top of all of that, I still have to go to school. So I have assignments. So major shout out to my apostles, to my sister Samara, and to my soon-to-be husband. And let me put a pin right here. So with me with school, my kids stay on top of my grades more than me. I think it's because I be on them about their grades. So they be like, Mom, let me see your grades. So so all of that keeps me well rounded, because it's like, did you do your homework? Did you do this? Did you do that? So like, I have an amazing support system. I am super grateful for my apostles. I'm super grateful for my circle, because listen, couldn't do it without them. Promise.
Wow, that is phenomenal. I am most definitely excited about the wedding that's coming up. I'm gonna do everything I can to definitely be there to support you in living color. I'm telling you, your life and your transition has really blown my mind. I would have not thought 5 or 6 years ago you was in that position, but God has expedited time on your behalf, and it's just a blessing to see what he has done. More than anything, your support system is just remarkable.
Yes.
When you find a village that stands with you,
Listen.
you can never allow that to be ripped away. So, woman of God, listen, I'm definitely excited for what God is doing in your life. And I want you, before we get off the call, I want you to share all of your information. It's 8:44, but you just have a plethora of things going on. And so I want you to talk about and share how these people can get connected with your business. How can they do sister circles? And then when you get your cosmetic line, it's just not going to be for women, but it'll be for men as well, I'm assuming, because you have boys and you'll have a new husband. So with that being stated, how in the world are you going to maintain all these things as well as still bring women as well as men together for ministry?
So I can be found on Facebook. I am still working on the Instagram thing. I don't know why me and Instagram don't get along well. But my platform is definitely on Facebook. It's Creative Creation Cosmetics, or you can just look up Marsha Singletary. You'll see this face, and then just add me, follow me, and you can definitely search my other pages from there.
So on an average, how much, tell us what you actually sell. Tell us what you actually sell. What's a part of creative creations? What all does it entail? What are your products?
So it doesn't have products yet for creative creations, but I do makeup sessions. I do one-on-one sessions where I train people how to do makeup. I do bridal parties. I do bestie parties. All good stuff with makeup and skincare. I provide those services. Good little face cleaning. I actually go with you to Sephora if need be. I would go with you to Sephora and help you pick out your needed items anywhere you want to go, actually, because I actually started shopping at Family Dollar. So you can definitely shop at Family Dollar and get some good cosmetics. So I will actually do the shopping with you, go with you to get your stuff and show you how to use it and all those good things.
I was just getting ready to say, for the woman that feels like she got to have MAC or she got to have another expensive brand of makeup, how can you help that woman always feel like she can beautify herself as well? Because just like you said, at $7.25 an hour, some people can't afford MAC. Some people can't afford Clinique. All of these different brands of makeup that are costly to some women, especially the younger women. But you just said that Family Dollar makeup would do the same thing other makeups would do.
Yes.
And what other stores that you would suggest for the woman that is on an uprise and right now she's in a budget crunch and can't afford MAC and Clinique and even Sephora? So what would you recommend to her other than the Family Dollar brand makeup?
So Ulta actually has sections where it's like the high end makeup, the middle end, and then the low end. I started with Family Dollar, and then I went to Ulta, and Ulta carried the same brand with Family Dollar. Now, if you want a good sale, go to Ulta, because Ulta be having the sales on the same thing that you're gonna get from Family Dollar, and it's the same price. It's the same price in Ulta, and a lot of people see Ulta and be like, "Oh my gosh, it's expensive in there." They do have some expensive stuff, but not all their stuff is expensive. When you walk in, you just tell the ladies that, "Hey, I need the budget friendly area." That's exactly what I did, and they showed me the budget in the budget friendly area, and I go in there all the time and buy my $2 lip liner. So
Do you think it's advantageous for us to put on a lip balm or something to moisturize your lip? Let me say this: is moisturizing your lips is that important as well? And if it is, why?
yes. So okay. So for me, I can say for my skin, during the wintertime, my lips get so cracky and peely. And if you don't want to walk around here looking like you got hold of something bad, you might want to go ahead and moisturize. I actually use a lip scrub. It's the same as the body scrubs that you could use to like help with your skin. I use a lip scrub and then some nice healthy lip balm. I'm not a fan of Carmex, but there's some other healthy ones. There was one from Blistex. I absolutely love the one from Blistex. Especially if your lips get dry really, really bad, because that one is a little bit more medicated.
Do you recommend a vitamin E or something of that nature?
So I actually just got into the whole vitamin thing. Shout out to my Apostle V, my spiritual mom. She definitely got onto me. And ever since I started taking those vitamins, I have noticed that my skin glows a little bit more. Like my skin looks a lot more healthier now.
Good. I wasn't talking about the vitamins, but that was my next question. But I was talking about the vitamin E that it's like a gel, almost like a gelatin, like a Vaseline, but you put it on your lips. And I'm saying that because some people, I don't just like, skincare, they would take care of their skin. Should they do the same with their lips, then put the lipstick on or the lip gloss on top of that? Or what would your recommendation be?
So yes, because so when I do my skincare, my face skincare in the morning, I don't skip my lips. Like I make sure I do my lips, and I also use the same moisturizer for my face on my lips.
Good. Yeah. I know that years ago, I used to walk around with it. I used to use vitamin E, but I got away from it. And I noticed lately I have not been wearing, putting the vitamin E on my lips. And so I wasn't sure if that's just a requirement we need to do, just like taking care of our skin as well, or it really didn't matter, make the difference until the season changed. So you have a question tonight. Your question is, what is your favorite concealer and what's a good brand?
So my favorite concealer, this might sound a little weird, but Elf Cosmetics. So Elf concealer is one of the best concealers I've ever used. Now I've tried Fenty, I've tried NARS, I've tried MAC, and I absolutely love Elf. Elf is one that gives you full coverage the first time around. So a little goes a long way, and it's definitely on a budget friendly area. I love it, love it.
So when you put on concealer, should you go lighter before the foundation or darker before the foundation?
You want to go one shade lighter than your foundation if you're looking for, because it's a difference. So some people look for it to be like bright around this area and this area, like they want it to be bright in the T-zone areas. And some of us, we don't. It depends what look we're going for. Some of us, we don't want to be bright all here in our T-zone areas. We want to be the same color all around. So if you want to be the same color all around, the same color of your foundation is the same color of your concealer.
Okay. I have dark circles around my eyes. What would your recommendation be for my dark circles?
So when you talk about when putting on makeup, concealer. So I would, to hide the dark circles under your eyes, you would want to go one shade lighter than your foundation.
Okay. I would definitely keep that in mind. Someone also gave me the recommendation of taking either a red liner and putting it on, and then putting on a concealer, and then putting on my makeup. What are your thoughts as far as that's concerned?
Well, that's fine as well, but LA Cosmetics actually makes like it's like a orange, not too red, but not too orange concealer that actually gives full coverage as well, because that will work as well. So if you don't want to do a liner under there, you can actually do that concealer. It's called a color corrector. You can
Okay.
under there and then put your foundation on, and it's gonna blend all of it out.
A color corrector.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now that's very good to know, because sometimes I know my circles under my eyes is hereditary for my family. It's
Mhm.
not based on my body shutting down. My family just darkened. Some of my family members have dark circles under their eyes, so it's hereditary as I get older. But I wanted to know what's the best solution, and I've had several people to recommend certain things. And another thing that you said earlier was the amount of water that we consume in our body, and what does the water actually do for our skin?
It actually helps keep you hydrated. Um, you if you ever notice that most of the time when somebody is starting to dehydrate, they start getting darker. So like their bodies start looking for water. It start looking for an outlet. It started looking for something. So I water. Like, and I used to not be too much of a fan of water. And I actually, so my spiritual mom, Apostle V, actually put me on something that will help you along the way. And a lot of people might be like, ew, you drink that. So water with lemons with some Splenda. You won't go back. Promise you. It's not only healthy for you physically, but it's also healthy for your skin.
It's alkalining your body as well.
Yeah.
You have a question. What are your thoughts about the Mica Magnesia method before applying your makeup? Do you think it's healthy for the skin? I've seen this before.
So I've seen a lot of people doing that, and my answer is definitely based off of what type of skin you have. If you have dry skin, I do not recommend the Milk of Magnesia, and I've also seen people using calamine lotion. No, no. Get you some moisturizer and get a primer, and you'll be just fine. That stuff dries your skin out. It dries your skin out real bad. So if you already got dry skin, doing those methods is gonna dry you out some more.
What would the purpose of those methods be now? I
Um,
never heard that.
So most people use it as a primer. It helps bring out the color of the foundation, and it also make it last long. So that way, you won't have to use a lot. But a primer will also do the same thing. I use milk primer, but then I just started using the elf primer, $10 at Ulta. That primer works wonders. Like, people ask me all the time, like, how you cry and your makeup still on? Elf. Elf primer. So primer and a good set and spray, your makeup will be on for 2-3 days.
I was going to ask you that as well, because I noticed that when I go get my makeup done for my photo shoot, they would spray some type of mist to
Set and
hold the
spray.
makeup. Is that good? Is that good? Is that
Oh,
like a primer, or what is that they spray?
so it's a set and spray. It literally. So I do it before I do your makeup. I would spray it on, and then that helps
Okay.
give a layer of protection between your skin and the makeup. And then once you put the makeup on, like, to set everything in place before you be like, okay, this is cute. They go set it on, because once they set it on, that makeup is on, and once it dry, your face is on. You can cry and all that. Now, when you cry, don't wipe, just pat.
We need to know that. So I'm glad you said it. Don't wipe,
Just
just
pat.
pat. So
Yeah.
when you say pat, what do we use to pat?
So like if you're using a piece of tissue, you could just like pat it,
Just
because
dab. Oh,
it helps keep your makeup in place. Because if you wipe, it's literally gonna wipe it off.
I love that. I love that. Another thing for me, because I'm 55 years old and I'm dealing with going through the change of life. What are your suggestions as far as my makeup is concerned? And I sweat and perspire very heavy when I'm ministering. So what are your suggestions for me?
So I would suggest that you definitely keep using the setting spray, because that absolutely works. And then also remember, less is more. A lot of people think that you got to put a lot on for us to see it. We see when you put just a little bit on. Promise. You don't have to go overboard. A dab do is what I tell everybody. I literally a dab. When I do my foundation, I put some on my hand, put it on my finger, and dab it. and just blend it out with the blender. It goes a long way. You don't have to use a lot. Just make sure you prime, make sure you moisturize, make sure you use setting spray.
I appreciate all these helpful tips. Tips. A lot of people don't know these things, so I'm so glad that you came on the call tonight. Like when I'm having my towel and I'm just, drenching with sweat, I have to be mindful. Now that you said it, I can go get a spray that will hold my makeup in place, because sometimes I'm just like, "Who? You didn't come in looking like this," but because we want to. Keep our makeup pretty, looking refreshed. I'll know now that I need to go get something to set my makeup to make sure. And when I have my rags or my towels, I'm not wiping, but I'm dabbing. And so thank you so much. Listen, these are very helpful tips. Believe it or not, many women need to know these things. And so I'm grateful for what you're bringing to the table tonight to be a help to many women. We have another question, and the last question, and prepare yourself, Marcia, because I want you to come back and give the information how they can contact you. And on the average, what are your costs for your services? She says, what type of brushes you prefer, and are they expensive?
So when I first started, I went to the expensive side because I thought that worked better. My Family Dollar my Family Dollar brushes have been holding up better than. So I purchased some Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place is amazing. They always have some good sales. You got to catch them when they have a sale. But it's a Black-owned makeup company called Juvia's Place. Now, I ordered their brushes, and their brushes was like $100 and something. Them brushes fell apart.
Wow.
So, and my little Family Dollar brushes is still holding on, and I had them for years. So, no, your brushes don't have to be expensive. And what I also tell people is, although the brush say foundation brush, that is not set in stone. If a foundation brush works better for you to do your contour or put on concealer, then use it. It is not set in stone. You can use your brushes how you want to use your brushes. It's just a recommendation.
You said contour. What does that mean?
So contour, some people like to make their face look a little sharp and like make their nose a little bit more skinnier, or a little bit wider. And all it is like it's like your shade, if not a little bit darker. But it literally just like push up your cheekbones and all that good stuff.
I understand. So the way that it makes you actually look, say, case in point, I noticed that when I was in my photo shoot, she made my cheekbones some kind of way look very bold, like they were very strong. Yeah. So when you saw my pictures, you immediately would zoom in on my cheekbones.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, that's contour.
Get some contour and put some blush on your cheekbones to make them pop.
Okay, all right. And so for the women that don't wear lashes, what is your recommendation for mascara for them?
So I actually started using CoverGirl lash, the lash thingy. What is it? Mascara. That's what it's called. Mascara. So I started using the CoverGirl. It's called Big Lash. It's in the red bottle. That is the best mascara ever. I stand by that one. Like, I really stand by that one. Because sometimes when I don't wear lashes, and before I learned to do makeup and stuff, I used to just stick lashes on my face and just rip them off. And I didn't think to, use a little makeup remover and just like massage to get them off. So at one point I was ripping my eyelashes out. So I started using that mascara, and it actually brought my lashes back. So
wow, okay, that's good to know. I've been using the same mascara, and I'm definitely addicted. So this is the one I've been using this since high school, no lie. I like lashes, but only when I have to wear them, if I'm doing a photo shoot. But this is my go-to. But now I'm going to try the one that you're recommending. How much is that one that you're recommending?
It was $4.99.
Okay. We see these are things that women need to know. So what I'm hearing you as I summarize everything that you're saying, basically it doesn't take a whole lot of money to be beautiful, or it don't take a whole lot of money to do your makeup. Go to the place where you're comfortable spending, and wherever that place is, that's where you take advantage of. That's what I'm hearing you say. So that's good to know, because everybody feels or think in their mind, I want to be like the inward crowd. So everybody wearing MAC, I want to wear MAC, or I want to wear Clinique, or I want to go to Ultra, or I want to go to Macy's or Dillard's or Saks Fifth Avenue or wherever. But it doesn't take all that. All you need is a decision on the store you want to go to and what brand you want to use, and you'll still come out just as pretty as the next person.
Absolutely. And that information I got from this young lady who started mentoring me in the makeup world. Her name is Paris, and she does celebrity makeups. And she said, "You want to see what I got in my kit?" And she showed me, and she literally had fit me makeup. Like, even the celebrities are wearing fit me, so you ain't gotta go buy MAC.
I got you. I understand. It's just the creativity of how you contour your makeup.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Marcia. I'm telling you, this has been such an amazing conversation. I really, really was excited to sit down and talk to you. I love Down to Earth, but I don't know why tonight was just so special to me. So again, thank you for this opportunity to sit down with you and talk about all the things that you transitioned from. Again, I'm very, very proud to be your God grandmama in Jesus. I appreciate everything that you did to transition. Such a remarkable story. And I pray honestly that you don't sit on your story. 2019 to now, to see the growth, the elevation, the advancement, the acceleration, the determination, the motivation, the willpower, and you still have confidence in doing what you do. That says a lot about who you are as an individual and your character. I don't just say things just to say them. I'm saying it because that's what it is. And so with that being said, I know your pastor's there with you in Spring Lake. I'm so glad to have you amongst the ministry, because you are just phenomenal. And I'm so proud to see you sitting and standing and still mobilizing yourself to be better, to be the better you that you are qualified and capable of being. So again, I salute you on tonight. Congratulations in all your endeavors, all your accomplishments. You haven't arrived where you want to be, but you are on your way, and I'm excited. I'm definitely going to purchase your product, so I'm waiting on you. And also, I want to share the fact that she sells t-shirts. You sell t-shirts as well. So she listen, from $7.25, because she stressed that $7.25. So from that $7.25 to where she is now is amazing. So I'm definitely excited. So I want you to go ahead and share with one last time the he said the Deliverance and Birthing Center, whoop. One last time, how people can reach out to you if they are interested in purchasing your services, your product, your daycare, all of those, attending a wedding.
Okay. So I can be found on Facebook. It's Marcia, Marcia Singletary. You can see this beautiful face. You can add me or follow me. I also have my cosmetic Facebook. It is Creative Creation Cosmetics. Or if you are in need of childcare, we also have a Facebook page for Creative Kids Childcare. So you can reach out to any one of those. Now, as far as attending the wedding, y'all, extra people might be out.
I love it. Congratulations again. And we are so excited for you and your newfound beloved. Amen. I'm telling you, girl, when you go on the other side, go to the Songs of Solomon, go to the Songs of Solomon. So we are definitely excited for you. Congratulations again. And we cannot wait to see you celebrate your day. So again, thank you so much for joining the platform on tonight and having you to come and sit down with me for an hour of power. I'm definitely excited. And thank you to your apostles for the introduction, because you are definitely their spiritual daughters. So we thank God for them allowing you to sit with me. I always like to share who I said, I'm pulling this one, I'm pulling that one, I'm pulling this one. So we want them to know and to be involved in things and all things. Amen. I don't do surprise. I don't like surprise. I don't know, just don't. So I like for them to know, but we give honor where honor is due. So we salute Apostle Glenn and Patrice Davis in Spring Lake, created to serve ministries on tonight. We thank God for the awesome move of God that's taking place in North Carolina. I told them when they first moved, I said, North Carolina will not be the same because you two are in that state. I'm telling you. So I'm excited about the growth and the opportunities of created to serve, to see their sons and daughters as you all grow and develop, advance under their tutelage. So thank God for them. Amen. And them trusting me to cover them. So I'm always honored and appreciative for that. But with that being said, those of you that are listening under the sound of my voice, that is it for tonight. And I'm telling you, you all reach out to this young lady because she's a plethora of information. The knowledge that she has as it relates to skincare. I'm definitely excited and I cannot wait to her products because I believe in giving back. We need to know how to support one another in our endeavors, not because we're trying to get rich on the next man, but we need to know how to become that village that she was talking about once again. Those of you that are listening at the call on tonight, I have to offer Christ. I can't get off the call without doing it. Those of you that are listening, although it was a spiritual call tonight, but if you do not know the Lord Jesus Christ, because that's my first ministry that I'm called to, tonight is your night according to Romans 10:9. The Bible says that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth and believe in thine heart that Christ was raised from the dead, then thou shalt be saved. Tonight, amen, confession is known until salvation, and I trust that God will literally sit down in your heart if you allow him to. Build a relationship with him closer. He said, if you draw nigh unto me, I'll draw nigh unto you. You said, you know what, Apostle, I wanted to go out one last time. God said, I'll make a way for you to escape, according to Jeremiah 3:14. I'm married to the backslider. There's nowhere you can run or hide that God doesn't see you everywhere that you are. Come back to the fold, amen, into a place of safety. I promise he have a secret place, according to Psalms 91, just for you. This is Apostle Dr. Sink Gilstrap, and my guest on tonight, pastor, soon to be wife, mother, all of these hats she wear, entrepreneur in the marketplace. She is amazing. You all check her out. Go check out her social media pages. Her name is Marcia, again, Marcia. Those of you that are in need of t-shirts, hit her up. If you need a class to train, to develop on how to take care of your skin, you already heard the conversations. Those of you that are coming later, go ahead and tag, share, invite somebody else to come later to listen to the broadcast, because some people need to know what contour mean and what water does for the skin. Until next time, this is Dr. Sink Gilstrap signing out of Down to Earth Talk. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful, powerful, prosperous night. Until next time, hold on.
Thank you for joining Down to Earth Talk with Dr. Sint Gilstrap. This episode is brought to you by VOC Magazine, Voices of Champions. If you would like to be a sponsor or advertise on this show, visit www.cgmenterprises.com for more information. Dr. Sint Gilstrap presents Down to Earth Talk, conversations that inspires, educates, and are thought-provoking. Don't miss Down to Earth Talk, streaming live every Friday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's Down to Earth Talk with Dr. Sint Gilstrap. For more information how you can be a guest on Down to Earth, simply visit www.sintgilstrapministries.com.